Okay, so to start off, we did have to repeat turn 1 of the last battle that we cancelled, and what happened was I went for Gastrodon and switched, and he went for Terra Water and he knocked off. And the reason I went Gastrodon here is because I was expecting a Colossal lead might be likely, or one of the pivot leads like Ogerpon, or Enamorus, or Dragapult. And Gastrodon's overall like pretty good into those. It's a very bulky one, obviously. And everything else on my team is frankly kind of frail, like defensively against a lot of these things. Goodra would be good too, but I want to keep Goodra healthy because I think it's pretty important. Put a pin in that because it doesn't go very well. But yeah, so I did lead Gastrodon, and he did lead the Magmortar. Let's see. And as a reminder, we are playing this with a 20-minute timer because of circumstances that were, I suppose, my fault, because I accidentally genned a level 58 Goodra, and both of our teams were locked. You saw the little montage there, so we both had to regen. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning for him, so I felt rushed, and I was trying to just like get it out of the way so he could go to sleep, and so I could finish the work that I was doing. So yeah, he goes for Terra Water. I'm pretty much just afraid of a Power Herb Solar Beam, or I was mostly preparing for like a Terra Grass set here, but in hindsight, I do see that I have a hard time hitting water types, especially since my best way to do that is Arboliva, who I think it would have been quite useful. You can see that I get crit here, and then I get a curse, and then I get burned, which is just terrible. I get my leftovers knocked off, so I'm not getting any healing. This poor fucking Goodra, man. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I was afraid of the Solar Beam, so I probably should have just switched it out after I got knocked off or something. But yeah, Arboliva would have been probably good here. I think it can take hits from like Magmortar if it needed to and get off a terrain-boosted Giga Drain. I think that would have helped me a fair amount here. But I didn't bring Arboliva. Here I'm kind of floundering, to be honest, because I'm like, what the fuck do I do against this Terra Water Magmortar that I literally can't hit with my team? So I'm like, okay, I need some screens. And I have to take a Flamethrower to get the screens, unfortunately. And he doesn't even go for knockoff because he ends up to be carrying the Break. I go to Gastrodon here, which is so much safer. I don't know really why I wanted to risk the Ninetales like that. Gastrodon is really safe against this thing, now that I kind of know he doesn't have the Solar Beam, or else he would have probably gone for it turn 1. So I'm thinking he's going to switch out, because maybe I wall him here, and I can go to Volcarona. Or maybe I'm thinking that you're going to have to reveal the Power Herb Solar Beam again, I don't know. But he knocks off my boots, which doesn't even matter because rocks never go up here. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll Quiver Dance. And he's carrying the Rock Tomb. I just made myself laugh with the edit. Yeah, this game was kind of, I was not playing my best at all, and I just decided to lean into it, and we're going for more of like a comedy edit this week. I didn't go overboard with it though, so don't worry. Yeah, Volcarona just dies. I'm doing really bad. I know. I go back into Ninetales because I've gotten enough damage that I can just freeze dry. I hope you guys understand the reference with the nickname, by the way. So Magmortar is finally dead after claiming the lives of 2.5 of my Pokemon for literally Terra Water turn 1 and just clicking moves. And I just let him do that. That was terrible. I do play a little bit better from now on, but I'm really far behind, so there's not a whole lot I can do. He's got really fast attackers, and I'm just playing from behind at this point. I go to Donphan. He goes for a Double Edge, which is weird, but I guess it hits everything. I don't know. You can see, I almost clicked the Poison Jab here, and literally everything that can switch into Earthquake or Knockoff would be weak to Poison Jab, so I should have just clicked Poison Jab. I knew that Ogerpon or Enamorus was coming in, and I didn't do that. you can see I left it in the edit. I was about to click Poison Jab, and I didn't. So now I have to switch into this motherfucking Ivy Cudgel, and even though Altaria resists it, and it's a quote-unquote defensive Pokemon, it's not really. It's actually bad in every single way. And I have to get up at least 2 Dragon Dances to sweep against this team. But I'm expecting it could be a play rough here, so I do have to go for the Terra. I'm kind of making a read there that you're not going to Ivy Cudgel again. I go for the Terra, and I Dragon Dance, because what the fuck else am I going to do at this point? And here, I do happen to expect the Will-O-Wisp from Colossal, but I have Natural Cure, so in my brain, I was thinking, well, let me just get healthier. Let me make sure Altaria is healthy, and I can switch out and heal the burn if I need to. When I could have just Dragon Danced again if I was betting that, I don't know. That's what I was thinking in my head, but he misses the Will-O-Wisp, which is very lucky for me because I get to keep some momentum going and just kill him with the Earthquake. I don't know, I think maybe a Dragon Dance there would have made a huge difference, but it didn't seem like the right play. And again here, I could have Dragon Danced, since I'm at full HP. I was really afraid of like a Choice Band Ice Punch, because I do believe that would kill me. So I didn't want to stay in and Dragon Dance, and again, I think that that could have made a massive difference in the outcome of this game. He goes for Rock Tomb, which is a really, really strange play in my opinion, because if I did just click the Dragon Dance there, the speed doesn't make much of a difference at this point, but I would have just had +2 attack. And I do believe he's Choice Band Iron Hands. No, that's not true. That's not true. So I switched out, and Ninetales died, so now I have a free switch to Gastrodon, because I do believe he is Choice Band at this point in the game. And by him switching out, I think he might have been reading that I thought he was Choice Band, which he's not. And with Gastrodon, I'm just yawning. I'm just yawning right here, because I need Spikes or something. Basically, I was trying to get a free turn to do Spikes, which is about right now, even though you could have Grass Knot that doesn't do that much. So I go for Spikes here. And, okay, he actually kind of played me now that I think about it. He switched in the Iron Hands here, and from this point on, he just clicks Close Combat with the Iron Hands. So I didn't even calc. I'm like Fizdef on my Gastrodon, so I didn't even calc it. I just assumed that he was Choice Band because of the way he was playing with this thing. And unfortunately, it's a two-hit KO into my Gastrodon, which is Bold Nature. So that's kind of embarrassing. So I just get to Earth Power, bring him down low enough that Altaria or Donphan can kill it. And I'm going to make a bad play right about now. So remember, I think that he's Choice Band. I think that Donphan can take it. So I Rapid Spin, and he turns out to be Rocky Helmet. And then I just die to Close Combat. And to be honest, even at +1 speed, I'm not outspeeding any of the Pokemon in the back, so I was counting on surviving Close Combat and Rapid Spinning twice, and I was counting on that KOing the Iron Hands, which I'm not even sure about. So at this point, I still think that he is Choice Band Close Combat, and even though, no, I don't think that anymore, he just Rocky Helmeted me. I just bring in Altaria, and my only play is Dragon Dance. My only play right now is to try and even the score, so I Dragon Dance, I can Earthquake this, and not take Rocky Helmet, and then I can Brave Bird something, because 2 of his Pokemon will survive the Earthquake, so I'm just like, let me just even the score. But that's how that game went. Honestly, not very good, as you can see. But I'm in this for fun, and I wanted to make the video. Everyone should be able to see the video. And I'll just play better next week. I'll get my head back in the game. And yeah, there'll be a brief team review after this. I don't like to put it at the beginning because I feel like it's just an assault on all of your senses to get a fucking team preview PowerPoint at the beginning of a video. So anyways, I'll be back in week 3 and we're going to play better and we're going to be optimistic about it because this was still fun. I still always enjoy playing, so nothing to complain about. Okay, so I wanted to break down the team really quickly. I don't think this is the best team that I could have brought by any means, and I don't think that I played as well as I could have, but I didn't like this matchup really at all in the first place. I feel like all of my attackers have very good switch-ins, and the opposite is not true for my team. Dragapult just kind of hits everything really fucking hard. I don't know if he's Specs or Choice Band or whatever. Jirachi could flinch several things on my team to death. Ogerpon hits pretty much everything, like, neutrally, I think. And hits Urshifu, and it hits Gastrodon, it hits Donphan. It can U-turn on the Arboliva. Like, it's kind of crazy how bad this matchup feels to me. Urshifu is like my strongest Pokemon, and it really wants to wear a scarf for the Dragapult and Amorous, and for the Ogerpon. But then it really wants a Choice Band, otherwise it's not doing enough damage to Jirachi and Iron Hands. And it also really wants like protective pads or something, like Punching Glove, because there are 2 Flame Body users on this team. And even though we one-hit KO Colossal with Surging Strikes, that's at least 2 chances to get burned, I think. And Volcarona is also kind of easily walled by like Colossal and Milotic. And even Dragapult to an extent. The Ninetales screens feels useful, but I also felt like this week it had potential with Nasty Plot to kind of hit things relatively hard. I don't know exactly how true that is. The 109 speed tier is very unfortunate for Ogerpon, and for, well, everything is slower than Dragapult, but I think Altaria doesn't feel terrible because I have a Terra Ground Earthquake and a Brave Bird. So if I can Dragon Dance up at least once with that base 70 attack, then we hit everything pretty much unresisted, so at least we're doing damage. Donphan I think is Old Faithful. I brought Donphan because I'm comfortable with it. And Gastrodon it is really good. It is good here, but I don't think it got to do enough. And Goodra is the same. I think Goodra is also quite good here. Because with the leftovers, if I was able to get a boost up, then I think it would be kind of hard to take it out. But, well, we saw how that went. And that was maybe totally my fault. I switched in on Gastrodon. I was really afraid of Power Herb Solar Beam just killing my Gastrodon on turn 1, so that's how that went, but it's okay. I felt like this was a bad matchup, and I do think my matchups are better in the next 2 weeks, and will I make trades? I don't know. I'm really fond of my little underdog team of Pokemon that are altogether not quite that good. I do have Urshifu and Volcarona and Kleavor, and those are like good Pokemon, but I don't know if this is... I don't know, I'm here for fun, so I'm not thinking about it too hard. Yeah, that's it for this week, and then I'll be back next week, and hopefully I'll play a little bit better. We were rushed because it was like 5 o'clock in the morning for them, and our competition didn't work out. You saw in the beginning the little montage. Our competition didn't work out because I had a level 55 Goodra, and I had to regen. We both had to regen our whole teams and play with a 20-minute timer, and it was kind of a disaster, but next week it's going to be better.